I got struck by the Allman Brothers bug toward the end of my college time, and it just grabbed hold of me and never let go. And so I've really been thinking, in all honesty, for 25 years or so, like, what is it? And all my family asked and friends, what the hell is it? And, so I basically did, and I looked back and was really trying to put the original band era in a little bit of historical context and for understanding. And I think the dissertation, the phase I'm at now, was how I could sort of make sense of that. I think I have a little bit more work to do, hopefully at some point to publish a book on it. But the idea was just, what is it about the Allman Brothers Band? Why are they special? Why did they strike me? Not necessarily trying to convince the unconverted as much as just sort of make a little bit of sense for me. So I tried to put them in some historical context of that original 2.5 years, between March of 1969 until Duane's death in October of 71, and really going all the way through, the last record he played on, which was Eat a Peach, which came out in February of 72.
All right. So, Bob, what do we have here with this Fillmore West 71 release? Can you maybe put it in context of the time and, kind of what was the band playing at the time? Was this a pretty typical show? Or do these shows show something new?
New in that maybe they're road testing or honing some songs, which we'll get into in just a little bit. I think the biggest thing for me when I got these discs, and I can't remember, I think only the latter two shows circulated pretty regularly around, one of the first couple things when you'd trade tapes, when I would at least. The 131 definitely, I think 130. I think 129 is new, or at least it was new to me. Okay, so a couple things. One is the band's been together now for 22 months, almost to the day. They formed in March 26th of 69 when Gregg shows up in Jacksonville. This is a band who is constantly on the road. They've been on the road pretty much since they started. They have yet to break through beyond what you would call the underground FM radio, which is college radio like what we're doing here, and really, really tepid album sales for their first two records, their first two studio records. At this point, they've decided they're going to record a live album for their third record, and at one point, sometime toward the latter part of 1970, they were looking at either doing it at the Warehouse in New Orleans or they were going to do it at Fillmore East, which they ended up doing 6 weeks later. This is pretty cool because this is a dress rehearsal for what is, goes down as one of the, certainly in the canon of greatest rock records, live albums in history. That's not me saying that. That's most critics, people much, more versed in this than I. So we're seeing, a kind of a typical set list of that time. And they're working out songs. They have already released Idlewild South, latter part of 1970, their second studio record. It's gotten some buzz, but it's not pushed them ahead. And you're seeing something that's very true of the Allman Brothers, really their entire career toward the last, maybe last 10 or 15 years of the band's last incarnation, which is they play very, very tight set lists. They don't waver really from set lists or order, or if they do, it's very little. The difference, though, you're not hearing the same songs all the time. You're hearing different, you're hearing the same songs, but you're hearing different solos constantly. They're really, it comes, as I understand it, from jazz and the jazz combos. You take a set and you work the hell out of it, and that's what they're doing here.
All right, Bob. So obviously, there's way more music than we can possibly fit on a 1-hour show available. So, where do you want to start? What do you want to play first?
So I thought what we could do is start with "Don't Keep Me Wondering," and the reason why is I want to set the stage a little bit. The Allman Brothers, typically for most of their career, would start off with these short blues songs. In Duane era, they would start off with slide songs because Duane would be playing an open E on the SG. Which was Dickey's SG, same model almost exactly that Derek Trucks plays today. Derek plays a replica of it. It's a quote-unquote new blues because most of their shorter songs that they would play, Statesboro Blues and Trouble No More were cover songs, so it's a Gregg song. And I was looking this up because I was trying to figure out when Don't Keep Me Wondering came in. And I had to give you some Duane Allman Slide right off the bat, Andy, because I know that's your sweet spot here.
That's where I started from.
So Idlewild South was recorded about a year earlier, well, in part between started about February 1970 all the way through like June or so. They were still doing overdubs. The song first shows up regularly in bootlegs July of 1970, and they're playing it all summer, all that year, 1970 till now. I think it's one of their funkiest songs, and I love the version that Tedeschi Trucks Band does today. It's pretty funky. So one last thing, apparently at some point Gregg had complained in a rehearsal about why do we always have two guitar solos in every song, and apparently Dickey Bess's answer was, well, it's because we're the Allman Brothers Band. So this is another example. You'll hear two guitar solos here. Duane does the slide, and Dickey's playing just normal fretted guitar.
All right, well, let's just jump right into that then. So, Bob, what do you think? What's up with that song? I just, for those of you that could hear it, I could definitely hear a whole lot more of Gregg in there. What'd you think?
I think all of us real Allman Brother nerds have devoured everything we could get. From day one, that slide just cuts me to the absolute bone. And so that's another reason why I love that song, and I've forgotten to say it. The thing about this, I wouldn't say this is the definitive version of Don't Keep Me Wondering or anything. I just thought it set the stage really well for this discussion and what's different. And yes, one of the things I dearly love, the mix is so good. And I tried to do a little digging to figure it out. Somebody who knows a lot more about this stuff will be able to say why this sounds so much better. But Gregg is really, really high in the mix in this one. The drums sound spectacular, which is probably one of the first things you lose as you start compressing tapes, and particularly in the analog days, you start to lose all those, especially the cymbals and stuff. So it is one of my absolute favorite songs of the canon, always has been, always will be.
All right, well, what do you want to hear next, Bob?
Okay, well, I mean, I've already gotten a note